Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator philosophy to help you build a spending plan that fits your life, stack up savings, and knock out debt without losing your mind or momentum. Once again, that bug that I have is still sticking around, so please forgive my voice. It's not where I like it to be exactly, but we will go through because we've got to push through. So today, we're doing something that might feel a little bit strange. We're talking about Christmas in May. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Nate, my kids just barely finished their Easter candy, and you're hitting me up with Santa Claus already? Yes, I am. And here's why. Because smart savers don't wait until sleigh bells are ringing. They start planning before Mariah Carey defrosts for the season. Today's episode is all about why May is almost the perfect month to start what I like to call your Christmas Alligator Fund. The perfect month is January if you're keeping score. More time means less per paycheck. If you're new to the Triggator lingo, alligators are those big recurring expenses that sneak up and take a bite out of your finances if you're not ready. Christmas is one of the biggest alligators of them all. It shows up every year like clockwork. And yet, somehow, it still surprises people. Here's the pattern. Most folks wait until November to start thinking about gifts, travel, decorations, and parties. By the time December rolls around, it's full-on financial flurry, and out comes the credit card. But what if this year was different? What if you rolled into December with a fully stocked Christmas fund? No panic, no guilt, just peppermint-scented peace of mind. Today, we'll talk about how much people really spend during the holidays, how to divide it across your paychecks starting now, and how even $10 today can lead to a debt-free December. So grab your iced coffee or peppermint mocha if you're feeling festive, and let's talk about how planning now can protect your spending plan later. The hidden cost of holiday cheer. Let's start with the truth bomb. Christmas is not a surprise. It's not like, whoa, December again? How did that happen? It's literally the same day every single year. And yet, when it comes to money, most people treat it like it sneaks up on them with jingle bells and a credit card swipe. According to the National Retail Federation, the average American spent $875 on holiday gifts alone in 2024. That doesn't include holiday travel, meals, decorations, parties, matching pajamas, the kids' school gift exchanges, or the sudden need to buy your neighbor's kid a gift because they unexpectedly brought you cookies. All in all, most families easily hit $1,200 to $1,500 by the end of December. But here's where it really stings. Most people don't plan for it. A LendingTree study found that 35% of Americans took on holiday debt in 2023, and nearly half of them are still paying it off. That means that some folks are still paying off prior Christmases while trying to figure out how to afford this year's. And the result, a peppermint-scented panic spiral. But here's the thing, holiday spending isn't the problem. Poor planning is. If your values say, I want to give meaningful gifts, or I want to host the family this year, or I want the inflatable light-up dinosaur with the Santa hat. Fantastic. The problem isn't what you want to do. The problem is when you try to cram all of that into your December budget. Enter the Christmas alligator. If you're new to Triggator, alligators are recurring but irregular expenses that you know are coming. Things like car registration, back-to-school costs, or that big annual insurance payment. These aren't savings goals for future dreams. They are expenses that bite you if you don't plan ahead. And Christmas? Oh yeah, it's an alligator with tinsel and a credit card swiper. So let's tame it. Let's say you want $1,300 available by Black Friday so you can hit the deals, check off your list, and still have time to enjoy the season. If you're paid bi-weekly and we're starting now in May, you've got about 14 paychecks before Black Friday hits. That means you need to set aside about $100 per paycheck. Now, if that number feels high, don't panic. You're not behind, you're just becoming aware. Even starting now with smaller amounts puts you light years ahead of most people. But here's where it gets interesting. What if the day after Black Friday 2025, you say to yourself, that was the most peaceful holiday shopping season I've ever had. What if I start saving for next year right now? Well, if you just keep setting aside that same $100 per paycheck, next Black Friday 2026, you'd have a cool $2,600 in your Christmas Alligator Fund. Want to dial it down? If $1,300 was the sweet spot, you could cut your savings to $50 per paycheck and still land right on target. As they said in Star Wars, stay on target. Now's the beauty by starting early. Options. You get to choose how much you want to spend, how quickly you want to save it, and how stress-free you want December to be. Because here's the truth. You don't need more money in December. You need a plan in May. Starting now gives you control. It gives you peace. It gives you the power to say yes to the things that matter without saying maybe later to your financial goals. So whether you start with $100, $50, or even just $10, start something. Because your future self sipping cocoa in a debt-free December will look back and say, Christmas in May, best gift I gave myself. Building the Christmas alligator step by step. All right, now we know the Christmas alligator is real, predictable, and way less scary if it's fed early. Let's talk about how to actually build it into your spending plan. Because a goal without a plan, that's just a wish with a glittery gift tag. Let's walk through this step by step. Step 1, set your target. Start by asking, what do I realistically spend at Christmas? Not just on gifts, on everything. Here's a simple breakdown to jog your memory. Gifts for family and friends. Work party contributions. Wrapping paper, tape, cards, and shipping. Holiday meals and baking ingredients. Travel, gas, hotels. Charitable giving. Decorations, hosting supplies, and maybe one more inflatable reindeer. If you've never tracked it before, your guessing might be low. Take your best estimate, then add 10% for things that you forgot to include. Let's say you land on that $1,300. Great. That's your Christmas alligator amount for this year. Step 2, divide it by paychecks. Now let's look at your timeline. You've got about 14 checks between now and Black Friday if you're paid bi-weekly. So we take that total of $1,300 and divide it by 14. That's $92.86 per paycheck. Or just round it up to $100 to give yourself some margin. If that number feels a little steep, it's okay. Start with something that's doable and commit to ramping it up next year. Even $50 a paycheck gets you $700. That's a huge head start compared to waiting until November and hoping for a miracle. Step 3, add it to your spending plan. This is the magic of the Triggator system. You don't just try to remember and save for Christmas. You assign the money in your spending plan like you would any other paycheck expense. Think of your Christmas alligator like gas or groceries. It is something you fund every paycheck without question. It's not a someday thing. It's a now thing. If you're using the Triggator app, you can set it up under your alligators and assign it that $100 or $50 or $20 right there. Every time you get paid, that money gets earmarked before it disappears to impulse buys or late night taco cravings. No guessing, no scrambling, just clarity. Just a quick side note, if you're looking for that Triggator app, it's coming soon. We're getting close. Step 4, give it a home. Now that you've assigned the money, you need a dedicated place to put it. Open a separate savings account, ideally at a bank you don't check every day. Name it something festive like Christmas Cheer Fund or Operation Sleigh Budget. Bonus points if it includes emojis. That way, it doesn't get mixed up with your rent money or emergency savings. It's protected, on purpose, and waiting to be used for exactly what you planned. Even better, use a high-yield savings account so your money earns a little more while it waits. It's not going to make you rich, but hey, Free money is free money. Step 5, automate it. If your paycheck hits the same day every 2 weeks, set up an automatic transfer to your Christmas account that same day. Even better, go one level deeper and set up a direct deposit with your employer so a portion of your paycheck goes straight into your Christmas fund before it even hits your checking account. As the wise Captain Jean-Luc Picard once said, make it so, number one. This way, willpower is off the table. No forgetting, no skipping, no oops, I meant to. Just steady, automatic progress towards a stress-free December. Bonus thought. What happens if you start early next year? Let's say you love how it feels and you decide to keep your habit going after Black Friday 2025. If you keep saving that $100 per paycheck, you'll roll into Black Friday 2026 with $2,600 in your Christmas Alligator Fund. Or, again, we can scale it back, drop it to $50 and still hit your same goal with time to spare. This isn't just a seasonal tactic. It's a system, a rhythm, a mindset. So let's recap. Decide your Christmas number, divide it into paychecks, add it to your spending plan like any other paycheck-based expense, give it a home, automate it, and forget about it until it's time to shop. That's how you trade financial stress for peace, confidence, and a cash-ready Christmas cheer. Up next, we'll talk about mindset, how early planning turns into identity level change, and why smart savers aren't just budgeting for Christmas, they're building a financial legacy. The mindset shift from scrambling to strategic. Let's zoom out for a second. Yes, this episode is about Christmas. Yes, we're trying to avoid the December debt trap. Yes, we're breaking holiday costs into paycheck-sized chunks. But what we're really talking about here is a mindset shift. Because once you realize that you can plan for Christmas now and drastically reduce the stress, the cost, and the chaos, your brain should light up with a giant aha moment. The earlier I identify the alligator, the less I have to feed it from each paycheck. Think about that again. The earlier I identify the alligator, the less I have to feed it from each paycheck. This one idea will change your entire financial life. Let's revisit the math one more time. If you want $1,300 for Christmas, if you start in May with 14 paychecks left before Black Friday, that's $100 a paycheck. But if you started in January, that's 24 paychecks. Now you're down to $54 a check. And if you started the Monday after Black Friday, the year before, that's a full 26 paychecks. That's $50 flat. And suddenly the alligator is tame, trained, and on a budget leash. That's the magic of time. So yes, Christmas in May makes sense. But here's where it gets next level. What if you planned Easter? What if you started saving for Valentine's Day? What if back to school clothes, car registration, summer camps, Halloween costumes, or the annual Costco renewal were all identified now and fed slowly and steadily? May is the perfect month to pause and ask, what other alligators are sneaking up on me each year? We all have them. Some are seasonal, some are sneaky, some are just so baked into our calendar that we stop noticing them until they bite. This is the mindset shift from reaction to readiness. Most people live their lives in what we call financial fire drill mode, where every irregular expense feels like an emergency. And when everything is an emergency, you're constantly pulling from savings, using credit, or rearranging your spending plan like it's a game of Tetris. But smart savers, the Triggator kind of saver, they live in prepped mode. They know the alligator is coming. They name it. They give it a date. They start feeding it early. And by the time it arrives, they're ready with a grin and a debit card. Here's an idea worth writing down. Planning ahead is not a financial strategy. It's a character trait. This isn't just about Christmas or Easter or how many Hallmark holidays or you celebrate. It's about who you're becoming. someone who lives with margin, someone who has a plan and works within that plan, someone who isn't stressed out by life's rhythms, but actually rides them like waves. And here's one more mindset upgrade worth adopting. Don't stop feeding your alligators, ever. Once you've built the habit, like saving $100 per paycheck for Christmas, don't shut it off after Black Friday. Adjust the amount, but keep the rhythm. Here's why. Alligators, they never go away. They just circle back on the calendar. So if all this Christmas talk has reminded you that Halloween is in October and you haven't started saving yet, start now. You've only got a few paychecks left, so the bites will be a little bit bigger, but if you start early next time, smaller bites, less pain. That's the game. The further out you identify the alligator, the smaller each bite becomes. The closer you wait, the hungrier it is. So once you wrap up Halloween spending this year, keep that fund going. You already have the habit. Now you've got a full 26 paychecks before the next one. You can cut the amount in half or scale it to a new goal, but you've already won the hard part by baking it into your spending plan. It's no longer something you scramble for. It's something you're already feeding. So let's bring it all home. Make your alligator list. Start seeing time as your best ally. Shift from reacting to preparing. Because the more paychecks between you and the alligator, the less it costs and the more control you keep. And that right there is the secret sauce of the Triggator mindset. All right, let's bring it home. If there's one big takeaway from today's episode, it's this. The earlier you plan, the less each paycheck has to carry. That's true for Christmas, Halloween, Easter, back to school season, any alligator that's big, predictable, and coming whether you like it or not. So here's your challenge. Start your 2025 Holiday Alligator Fund today, even if it's just $10. Pick your Christmas number, divide it by the number of paychecks you have left, then assign that number into your spending plan and give it a home. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be started. Bonus challenge. While you're at it, take 15 minutes this week to make your alligator list. Think through every non-monthly expenses you know is coming this year. The more time you give it, the smaller the bite. And hey, if you've got a question, a win, or maybe you had to start a side hustle so that you could fund that inflatable lawn reindeer obsession, I want to hear about it. Email me at podcast@Triggator.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with someone who's already freaking out about Christmas, even if it's only May. And be sure to follow @Triggator on X, Instagram, and Facebook for more tips, tools, and behind-the-scenes wins. Coming up next time, lifestyle inflation is lying to you. Why more income isn't the answer. You got a raise, a bonus, maybe even picked up a new client or side gig. So why does it feel like you're still broke? We're talking about lifestyle creep. I deserve this syndrome and how to keep more of your money working for you, not just leaking out quietly in upgrades. You won't want to miss it. So remember, the sooner you plan for it, the less it costs you later. Time is your best financial ally. Start early, stay ready, and watch the stress disappear. Thanks for listening to Master Your Money. Budgeting, saving, and debt-free living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. See you next time.